Welcome back to Box Office Maniacs. I am David Graves.
I am Vince Maniacci.
And we are quite late on this news. I mean, the entire world knows this already. But, I still wanted to get on here and express my thoughts and comments about this because Vince and I, if you haven't watched it yet, we did a review for the Scream Factory box set of all the Halloweens, like 1 through 10.
That includes Rob Zombie's 2 films.
And you know what that makes us, right, Vince?
Fanatics.
We are experts. I think by this point we are Halloween experts.
Yeah, we pretty much know the entire Michael Myers saga and trilogy and, well, not trilogy, but saga. The whole damn story.
And we watched all the extras. And we did reviews for all the extras. I mean, actually, it took us, 2 years to finish the whole thing.
Yeah, because we tried to finish it all in the 1 month, and we ran out of time. 31 days wasn't enough.
And it was, super popular. It actually became a lot more popular than what we thought it did. And people were asking us to finish the box set. So the next year we came back and we did. We finished all 10 films and all the 10 documentaries and extras and commentary. It's all on here if you wanted to check it out. But we are here today to talk about some news, some breaking news that's about, a month old now.
I don't think it's that old, but yeah, it's been out there for about at least a good week, 2 weeks.
So, John Carpenter, Vince, returning to the Halloween franchise.
And I couldn't be happier about that.
Now, let me say that I never thought this would happen. Even when I was sitting there watching all these Halloween movies, it never occurred to me, it never even went through my head that John Carpenter will come back and do Halloween once again. Never. I never thought it in a million years. Never.
Them losing the rights, I guess I guess it's not with Miramax or Millennium or what are they with? No, Dimension Films. Dimension Films was the last studio that owned the rights to the Halloween films, and actually Dimension Films is a subsidiary, I guess, or a sub company of Walt Disney, which many people don't realize.
So Dimension Films were the original people who owned Halloween?
They acquired it.
So now, John Carpenter, he's not directing the new Halloween, which is kind of disappointing, but, he is, but he is creative consultant, and
I read that he's going to be the executive producer.
Yeah, he's that, and he's a creative consultant of it.
Well, yeah, which would make sense.
So, and the thing is, they did have some good Halloweens through the 10 films, but nothing ever came close to part 1 and part 2. I mean, that was it. They were 2 of the greatest Halloween films of all time, and the guy who played Michael Myers, I'm wondering, is he coming back? I mean, you know how people, their mind would explode, Vince, if the original guy who played Michael Myers would come back for this.
You mean Nick Castle?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really cool if he did that.
I mean, he doesn't really, he's older, obviously, but, he doesn't really have to do any sort of physical, of course, later in the other Halloweens, he was doing, pull-ups on bars and stuff up on the ceiling, but, I don't think he would have to do any sort of physical stuff in the film, just walk around, if they're going to continue from 1 and 2.
That was other stuntmen, though, like George P. Wilbur, and now that I'm on the spot, I forget their names.
Well, the one thing I really hope they do with Michael Myers, and I thought this was the reason he was so scary, is because he was just a regular guy. I mean, he wasn't 9 foot tall. He wasn't built like a freaking linebacker. I mean, he was just a regular guy walking around, and then he got bigger and bigger and bigger through every movie. By the last film, he was 10 feet tall, and he could just crush somebody's face with his pinky, and their eyeballs would pop out.
We even said this in the review for Halloween, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, where he picked people up and threw them down, and all you hear is this great big.
It was like a nuclear bomb going off.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I kind of picture Michael being a normal person, but not necessarily, muscular like Rambo and stuff like that. They've drawn him in the comics like that too.
So I'm hoping with Carpenter back on there, because I've already heard a few things what he had talked about the film, about how he was a presence, and you know, that's why they call him the Shape, and he was evil. He's just pure evil, and somebody don't have to be 10 feet tall to be scary. I mean, look at Freddy Krueger. But you know, of course, he became more of a comedian later on, and Michael Myers never became a comedian, but he did become a professional wrestler.
Well, that was one thing about Rob Zombie's Halloween, the first Halloween, the remake that he did. You know, I mean, his vision for that story was interesting, and it was kind of cool to see Michael Myers throughout. You know what happened from the point where he killed his sister to the Halloween night that he finally escapes and goes after Laurie Strode. You know, it was kind of interesting to see that, but at the same time, it made him human. It made him more of a realistic person, and it took away from the evil that he originally was, the character originally was. Because, like you're saying, he was just the Shape, and that's what they referred to him as, was the Shape. They didn't call him Michael Myers.
And I think with John Carpenter back on board, I think we're going to see that again. I seriously think we're just going to see him as the Shape again. And he's not going to be 9 feet tall. I'm really hoping that he brings back in Nick Castle, because fans would go, including us, would go crazy.
Yeah, I would like to see Nick Castle do it again. Oh, well, then again, there was a couple people that played him in the first film. There was Nick Castle, but the guy that did the scene where he has the mask off for that brief second was Tony Moran. He was only there for a few scenes. He did play him a few times in the film. Nick Castle got the credit, though, I think.
I could not be more excited about this. If it comes out next year, it will be one of the, you know, my most anticipated films of next year. And if there's any more news that comes out or anything, we'll get back on here and talk about it and let you guys know. Hope you guys stick around. Hit that subscribe button.
Hit it!
And we'll see you next time on